By now we've had 15 million Lego games.
Just about.
Just about 15 million, give or take a million. But that's not enough. Let's have another one.
Sure.
Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Based on the animated series, Star Wars, The Clone Wars. And, well, you're not the biggest Star Wars fan.
True.
But you've still been playing this.
Yeah, I must admit that certain episodes of the Lego games have sort of captured me unwillingly. I mean,
you tried to hate them, but you couldn't.
No, but it's the sort of game that you sit down with, and at least for me, I sit there going, yeah, I can see why this should be boring, why this isn't working. I've seen this before, I've tried this before, and suddenly I've been spending like 10 hours with the game, and I don't know what the hell happened. And
having fun.
having fun. And man, this game just repeated that for me. So,
all right. So it's the same old setup. It's Lego figurines in the shape of Star Wars characters.
Yeah. Running
around.
Yeah.
Shopping up other Lego characters.
Yes.
And
that's just about it.
That's about it?
No,
anything new?
Added to the new game is that you have 3 different ways that you can, or actually 3 different story branches that you can choose between how you want. So if you are kind of getting bored about one story branch and about the worlds and levels it provides, you can just choose another one and you can go about it like however you want.
If I understood this correctly, 3 branches are actually named after Star Wars characters?
Yes.
Can you pronounce those names?
No. I can't even remember them, but you should.
I can't remember. we were talking about it before. I can't actually remember which characters it was, but you nub.
Yeah,
Star Wars nub. Okay, but continue. Yeah, you have 3 different branches. You can jump between them as you want.
Yeah, and also your incentive for actually collecting all the Star Wars pieces, Lego pieces, of course, which has always been your currency in the game, is even bigger than before, because just as the previous games, this game is also chock full of secrets that you can buy, you know, everything from characters to just bonuses and everything. But the hub world itself, which is this huge spaceship, is just...
You know what it's called?
Star Destroyer?
It's a Star Destroyer. I don't know. Nick, our camera guy, is actually shaking.
It isn't, Nick?
Which is it?
Isn't it Star Destroyer?
Okay, we were just told by Nick, our camera guy,
who is a huge Star Wars nerd,
huge Star Wars fan, and been playing this game, that you're not in a Star Destroyer, because of course it hasn't turned into a Star Destroyer yet, because during the Clone Wars, it's still the Republic. It hasn't turned into the Empire yet. So you're in this pre-Star Destroyer ship. It probably has a fancy name, and you can actually fly out into another hub world, which is Count Dooku's ship. Yes, Count Dooku's ship. Nick is nodding his head. I got that right. Okay, so you have amazing. This. You have yeah, it's amazing. You have this huge.
Yeah, I just enjoyed it for a game, so I wasn't really into all that. But apparently it's true, and it makes for a great game. But because there is really a lot of things to buy and unlock and just keep playing for, and I mean, if you're going for a game content-wise, you won't get much deeper games than this game. So if you're a Star Wars fan, just for that, go for it.
As far as I understood it as well, this is based, as I said in the beginning, it's based on the Clone Wars, which is the animated series that takes place during the Clone Wars, accidentally. As far as I understood it, this actually follows that story. Well, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Nick, again, is nodding his head. It's actually following the Clone Wars story. But also one of the things that the Lego games always have been good for especially for us as adults who grew up with the movies and of course Indiana Jones, for example, is a humor.
Yeah.
That they take this kind of stuff we love about some of us love about Star Wars and make it Lego funny. Yeah, is it still around?
Yeah, the comedic timing that Traveler Tales or TT Games as they're now known, is able to put into games have always kind of amazed me, because I mean it's again the sort of thing that I can sit there and watch and kind of say to myself, why should I be laughing about this? And I just am. I mean just all these crazy situations where they, instead of like a certain set piece, they put in a piece of Lego and you just sit there and kind of cry with laughter of it, and you want to show it to all your friends and your wife and your child and everyone.
Despite the fact that your child's like 1 year old.
Yeah, well,
you should learn early.
And again, it's one of the highlights of the series, and it's one of the highlights of the new game.
Another important aspect of the Lego games has always been multiplayer, because that's always a fun way to play them. Still fun?
Still fun, and really still the way to play the Lego games, and also the new game, and not the least because the way they do split screen in the Lego games is by far superior to most every other way I've seen it handled. Just the way that it splits up the screen dynamically, it just works. And also most of the missions have actually been developed in such a way that you, even in single player, will be able to use the split screen, because you'll be able to choose between two different teams that have to, achieve different goals on the screen. But when talking about multiplayer, you also have to mention the new real-time strategy aspect of the Lego Star Wars games. And it more or less is a separate game in itself, but still done in a way that you will recognize and that it makes sense. And you are able to also play this in co-op, just like you would play any other real-time strategy game.
So basically, well, some of the Lego games have been quite uninspired. Like, didn't enjoy Indiana Jones 2 very much. I felt kind of just putting out another game from the Lego factory, but with Harry Potter and now with this, it actually seems that they have some fresh ideas still.
They do. I won't necessarily say that this is a game that will completely blow your mind if you have been playing each and every of the Lego games so far, but from the different games I've tried, this is certainly one of the biggest steps they've taken, not only in quality but also in adding fresh ideas to the whole formula. Just the thing that they're now able to include, like I believe a couple of 100 characters on screen, which really makes for like big epic battles in the Lego universe, makes for a whole nother game, and looks kind of impressive to boot as well. They still have some of the problems with the puzzle that not always is really obvious what you should do in the puzzles, and like I was actually playing with Nick, our camera guy, and some of the problems we ran into was that most of the puzzles you would actually solve by knowing that certain pieces of the Legos were only used in puzzles. So you would know that if you found this piece, well, a puzzle is upcoming. And the puzzle itself didn't necessarily make sense. But I mean, that's a gripe that you'd like to live with within the first couple of hours of game.
All right.
LEGO Star Wars 3